right, welcome to Modern Nurse Fest, day 3. We are talking about Chat GPT today and how it can help your business thrive and how it can cut down on some of these just unnecessary tasks that we think about and we brainstorm and then we get lost. And then 10 hours later, we're still stuck at the same point we were 10 hours ago. So, Chat GPT has been a lifesaver for me, not only in my business, but in my personal life too, when I have to write emails. And coming from a place that I have learning disabilities, my letters and stuff get mixed up. I have dyslexia pretty bad. And so Chat GTP takes my information that I actually type out, I can copy and paste it, and it can reword it, move the words around, and actually make the right spelling, so I can look more professional, right? Because that's really important in the world that we live in. So in order to be professional, Chat GPT can help with that. So I went ahead and put a course in the chat, and I'll put it under the recording as well. You can access it under the Continuing Education tab in the Modern Nurse Fest course. But just so you know, this Chat GPT course is for nurses, and it helps you load the business on the front end with Chat GPT. And then it also allows you to then create prompts, create content, create ebooks with the information that you've provided at the beginning, because it's AI. So it's very intelligent and it knows everything about you in that little short amount of time that we feed into the AI platform. And then it takes that information, including your links, your websites, courses, whatever you want to use in that AI system, and then it uses that to answer our prompts. So it's a pretty cool way to just give your time back to yourself, but also to just speak a little bit differently, or to add some more professionalism or inspiration or sass, whatever you want to add. Chat GPT will do that for you. So I want this to be super interactive. And so if you want help creating content, I am here for you for that. I batch content. So usually I pick a day out of the week and I'll do just content batching all day long. And then I upload it to my various social medias, LinkedIn, even creating email, a couple email campaigns. And then there you go. For the rest of the week, I can focus on whatever I want because I've scheduled content. So I still do random posts inserted in all of that just to help the logarithm out. But again, content scheduling is key, to just creating that consistency on, social media or wherever you're at, right? Because consistency is key. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. So first things first, I want you to go ahead, and if you haven't already, go ahead and head to ChatGPT. This is the link, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that in the chat. And again, it is just chat.openai.com. And so the link is in the chat for those of you that are live with me now. If you are on the recording, you can definitely access that as well after this on the description below. So you can check that out there. So how to sign up for Chat GPT. And sometimes I get my P, my T confused, but just as you know, I'm just going to start calling it chat so I don't have to keep saying those letters after, because my brain likes to mix them up a little bit. And I don't want you confused. So our code word now for Chat GPT is just chat. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right. So go ahead and sign up, and then in the chat, or give me a reaction that you have an account already or that you went ahead and signed up. Obviously, I'm not affiliated. We've talked about a lot about affiliate income and passive income this morning, but this is not an affiliated link. This is just their general link. I am not getting any commissions off of this link. All I get is a lot of love and support from chat. So go ahead and just let me know in the chat if you've signed up for it or you already have it. A lot of people do have it, because they just like wanted to play around with it one day, right? And so a lot of people just play around with it, but we're going to really focus on the business aspect. So um, just a couple points and pieces of Chat GPT is there's things that you should know. So up top, in the top left hand corner, you're going to see open chat or start, create new chats for each of your projects here. So within that, I'm going to go ahead and get that up, and so we can see it on the live here. We can see a live session of chat for you here. All right. I did go out on a whim and I did purchase the $20 option. And I will tell you that it is pretty magnificent, but also you don't have to have the $20 option to use the awesome features that this does have on here. So we have this up in the top. This is to start a new chat. So you can see it's a little bit different than the screen that I just showed you. But this is a start a new chat. And as you can see, look at this. Look, we're just gonna dive into my history real quick. All right, so these are the things that I have searched up or needed help with, and it's literally all around Nurse Fest, right? And I've used some of our speakers to write their bios, to pull information from their actual websites. Let's see. I think even Bridget had to correct me one day because I was incorrect on her AI summary that I put out there, right? So you have to make sure that you double check things. Obviously, I was in a rush and I didn't realize that I made that mistake, but it's really important to just double check things. And if you're collaborating with other people, obviously have them check before you send it out, right? So lots of things that I've been like, it goes by the month. So that's really what's cool. You can see that I was in this a lot for the last previous 7 days. So, it really can help a lot with different things. Um, and so we're going to show that today here. At the bottom here, you can create an image, get advice, make a plan, summarize a test, analyze data, and more. So real quick, this is a fun prompt that I like to show nursing students because I think it's really important that we give them this opportunity because they shouldn't be scared of AI or chat. They should really try to embrace it in nursing schools because it can be extremely helpful in writing different things. So say I have a research paper, I'm a nursing student, and I have a research paper, and I am trying to find research articles for my said topic. So maybe my said topic is, let's see, maybe I'm going to look up autism. Okay, so please give me 10 APA, yeah, references in APA format. And I can do alphabetical order in the last 5 years. And please make it in relation to autism. Oh, see, I tell you, I can't speak at the same time and write. Autism and let's see what else. Spectrum. We'll just do that. We'll just see that. And I'm just gonna spell stuff wrong because it's gonna pick it up here. So let's see what it gives us. So why is this helpful for nursing students? So as a nurse, I know that I spent a shit ton of hours researching, looking on PubMed, finding articles, typing in the search bar, autism, 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 only to have to go through a bunch of articles. So here we are. I'm at 8 now and 9, and this has been, I have my time right here. It's only been 7 seconds. And now I have 10 different articles within the last 7 or 5 years that I can look up, and it has the link for me. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. So this is not only good for nursing students because now I'm not going to use this verbatim. I'm going to go to all these resources and pull my research from all these research articles. And if it's not a good research article, I can just come back here and be like, hey, give me 10 more articles. I need it for this said area. Right. So if you're a nurse or a nursing student, the nursing student part can help you with the research. It can also help with care plans, right? So, those dreaded care plans that we had to do, it can also help with care plans. So let me go ahead and bring this over here so we can see it a little bit better. All right, so in table format, give me a nursing care plan for a below E before L. Here, let's say E below the knee amputation. All right, well, let's just see what it gives us, okay? Oh, this looks really familiar to what we used to do when we used to write it out on pieces of paper. I don't know if anybody's back in those days, right? Oh my gosh, I remember, let's just have a little round table here and complain about care plans. I wrote so many of those. Did anybody else write a lot of care plans in their nursing school? It was ridiculous, right? So, okay, let's go ahead and look at this. Oh my God, what? It gives me a nursing diagnosis, which that's what I always need, right? Do you remember? I remember getting like the nursing diagnosis book and being like, oh yeah, it could be that. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up and I'm gonna write it down. But look, we just went through, we have a whole care plan right here. So if you're a nurse in the hospital and you're like, man, I really need some, care plan tips or points that I can write in the EMR, chat GTP. Like, I think, in education and coming from, I'm just going to stop share real quick, coming from an education arena, a traditional, very institutionalized academia, they hated when I talked about this. And they were like, it's the devil, which, I could see that. And I think we could even say that for this thing that we have right here in our hands. A lot of people were super against it when it first evolved and came out. Yes, there are drawbacks to this. Yes, do I want to go back to a flip phone most of the days? Yes. But here's the point, it does so much for us, right? And it aids us in reducing our time to do things. And it also helps us stay on task. It helps us communicate with people. So I think we need to really start to reframe our ideas and mindset around AI and chat and robotics and all the things that are kind of coming in, because just like anything, if you get it in the hands of the right people, it can create change, right? So I'm here to tell you as an educator that I really do think nursing students should be taught how to use this. And that's why I created a very low cost purchase in this course, a chat GTP course that has all the prompts that you can just copy and paste into your chat. Okay. So you can check that as well. Yeah, Sharon, great. If you don't embrace it, you will be left behind. Absolutely. And I think we're seeing that with a lot of nurses. Just spoke with another nurse when we were talking about affiliate and passive income. She's like, but I'm just not techie. You don't have, if you can work electronic medical record and find stuff on the internet and pass nursing school, like you can do all of these things that Bridget, who was just on before me, talked about website wellness. She had to learn that. I had to learn it. It's just like anything. You just learn it and then you can do it, right? I mean, there are 90-year-olds out there that have never been in fitness and they're like now competing in fitness competitions because they just had the idea one day. They're like, I'm just going to do this and I'm going to be consistent at it. And then you get results, right? So if you're consistently just take 5 minutes every day to go on YouTube and be like, today I'm going to learn about how to batch content create in Canva. And it's usually a 5 to 10 minute video of somebody talking and showing you step by step how to do it. So don't tell me that you cannot do something because I will show you that you can. Anything in life, literally. All right. It's the future and it's here to stay. I work in software and see it. Yes, Sharon, thank you so much for that deep wisdom and insight into, the future. I think it's really important that, like you said, we embrace it. So, all right, moving on here. Can you guys still see the chat GTP, the chat box? Just give me, no. Okay. All right. That is because I'm not sharing my screen. So let's go ahead and back to the drawing board here. Okay, great. So as you can see already, I've done two things in less than 10 minutes, and that includes me talking and going on about things, right? So let's go ahead. I want the audience now to go ahead and give me something that they want to create. And I'm going to go ahead and set the prompt in here. So give me some ideas that you want, a question that you want answered. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put in a prompt. So go ahead and put your prompt in the chat and I'll go ahead and move it into here. But while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and show you something else here. All right, guys. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and look, I spelled stuff wrong, but AI doesn't care. They're like, I'm smart. I know how to fix this, right? So the post is create a content plan with carousels. So these are the three main social media posts on Instagram: carousels, reels, and posts. Those are the three. The main one, reels, gets the most, I guess, a logarithm views, but posts are usually educational in a sense. And then carousels are also informational because you're swiping, right? The swiping is the carousel. Reel is live interactive video. Post is stationary, usually a picture or a post of something. There's no video involved. There's no, movement or anything. It's like a post. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and push play for this. Here we go. And we're going to see what it does here. And I didn't tell it how many days I needed it to go. So that's important as well. If you have a time frame, maybe you want to create a content plan for 30 days. Maybe you want to do a 30-day out content plan. You can do that on here as well. So it's just giving me a couple posts right now. And we can talk about Hook as well. And let's talk about CTA. So these are really important points when you're creating content and or doing a website. As Bridget was talking about in the last workshop, it's really important the words that we're putting in front of people, either to get them to buy a service or to buy a product or to get a freebie, right? It's really important the words that we are putting in front of people and the visuals. Like I talked about when we first started out at Modern Nurse Fest, what we see every day is really important, and it can affect our cell biology. I mean, it comes all the way down to the cell, what we are visualizing. It affects us that deep. So if you're able to tell your story and convert somebody into being a buyer, that's what we want to do. We want a higher conversion rate. So your hook is to catch the eye, and you've probably been on social media and on TikTok or Instagram and just scrolling through, and then somebody's like, I wish I would have known this about nursing. And you're like, wait, what? What did you wish I would have known about nursing, right? And then you go back to that post and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I wish I would have known that too. That is such valuable information. And then you go and you dive down into the deep rabbit hole of now seeing what this person's posting, seeing who they are, right? So it's the hook that's the capture item for your post. It's the stop scrolling headline that people are going to be like, yes, that sounds like me. I want to know more. Give it to me, right? So we have, do you know your body holds the key to unlocking your mind's potential? What, really? I'm going to stop and listen to this. So this is a carousel. A carousel is the flip through, right, that we see on Instagram. So right now it says content idea. Explain how somatic practices influence neuroplasticity. Use a it tells me how many slides I need for my Canva. 5-slide carousel to show the science behind somatic approaches and their effects on the body and brain. The call to action that I'm going to put on the carousel at the end of the carousel will be swipe to discover the connection between your body and brain, or that could be at the beginning, right? And then the frequency is the first Monday of the month. And so what's cool about social media is once you get engagement on posts, you can really start to use those posts over and over. So the same wording you can keep using, you would just change the post or reel or carousel. So once you have a good situation going, you're just going to repeat stuff, because what happens with social media is people aren't going to see the same message over and over. And when they start to, they're going to become more able to make a conscious decision and be like, this person's always in front of me selling this coaching. I want in, and I'm going to go ahead and sign up for the coaching, right? So social media is not going to show you the same video, but if I'm putting out the same information and kind of brainwashing you psychologically into thinking that my stuff is the best and what I provide and the value and the information that you so much want to follow me or subscribe or buy my product, that's what we want to get to. And that's how we get people involved in our programs and our structures with hooks and calls to action. You'll see that on any sales page, right? Have you guys seen that on sales pages? All right, awesome. All right, so, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon, for being here. I appreciate it so much. All right, awesome. So you can see there's a ton that we have here, a ton of options. 3 somatic practices you can do from a desk. Create a reel showing 3 quick and easy somatic exercises to release tension while sitting. Tag a colleague who needs to hear this. Third Friday of the month. So you can see that this is even a content scheduler that I can see when I need to post these items. I can even ask for hashtags. So if I'm like, hey, give me, give me 20 tags. Whoops, not gas. Hashtags that are relatable to the above. No numbers, only hashtags. And why do I do this? Only hashtags. Let's see what it does and gives me. Okay, perfect. So if you want to copy and paste this, you're not going to want a bunch of numbers. So sometimes the more and more you talk with AI, the more and more it will figure out what you like and how it can be best of service for you. And so usually I just ask for no hashtags. Sometimes I don't even have to ask. Sometimes it will just do it for me. So as you can see, all I have here is hashtags. So I can easily copy and paste this, copy and paste these hashtags, and then I can put them under my post if I want to use hashtags, or on LinkedIn or wherever, in my blog, in my website, right? So it's giving me the hashtags that go with this content. All right. Carousels, posts, reels, and then it talks about this is a content plan that blends blah, blah, blah. All right. Then there's hashtags. Okay. So the next part we're going to talk about, we're just going to start a new chat here. The next thing that I want to introduce, and I think it's really cool because it helps really create things quick. And I think I want to talk about lead magnets in this instant and what a lead magnet is. So you've probably been on a lot of different things, especially if you're on the social. I do it myself. I use ManyChat. If you reply to a post or a reel or a carousel and you type the word below that says like gift, you're going to get a free PDF, an ebook. And so you might be thinking, well, I'm a nurse. I can't write an ebook. I've never written anything in my life except the research paper that I spent hours and hours upon. And I don't want to spend hours and hours upon writing a freaking ebook. Who wants to write a book, right? But I can tell you there's so many people out there using this to write and create journals on KDP. I've done it myself, a microdosing journal. There are so many people using this to write articles, but then also filter their own words into it. So it's really important to make sure that if you use this, that you do know that you've used AI. So for instance, I use a lot of different platforms and it actually asks a question. KDP actually asks, did you use AI specifically for this product? And you just hit yes, and it's okay. It's just noticing that you used AI involved in that product, right? They're not going to scold you. The internet police are not going to come bang on your door. None of that's going to happen, right? You're just noticing and noting that you used AI in that product. All right. So we're going to write an ebook. So, burnout's a big thing these days with these nurses. So write an ebook using captivating hooks and CTAs, which are call to action, to help decrease burnout and help them start my 6-week, I don't have a 6-week program, but we're just making this up, 6-week de-stress program that helps them get out of burnout and into their body. Please make it 7 pages long and enlarge headings and use bullet. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just making this up. This is not something, but this is just an example of the power of what you can do. So we're going to take all this information. This is a different workshop, but in the Modern Nurse or School of Modern Nursing, we do teach this stuff. So if you want to get involved in that, in the actual membership that we have, you will have the Chat GPT course for free, but then I'll also be doing free live demos of this kind of stuff. And we're going to move it to Canva, and then it's going to just whip up an ebook. But we're not doing the Canva part today. We're just doing the Chat GPT part. So as you can see, I went ahead and typed in just this small little paragraph, and here we go. It's listed the pages. It also does any headings or anything that I need enlarged. I can ask it to do that as well. I can also ask it to add pictures. So I'm going to say, please add images into the ebook, and let's see what it does. All right. So this one is, I'm not using my paid version right now for you guys, but as you can see, it's telling me a visual, a person sitting with their head in their hands in a healthcare setting, symbolizing the weight of burnout. So I could copy this, and then I could go to my trusty Canva here, and I can have it create me a picture. Okay. So what you can do is you can go into Canva. Not it's a little running a little slow. So let's just go back to ChatGPT. So you're going to copy that, and then you're going to go back into Canva. I think it's you probably have to have the paid version to do this, but you can take this information from chat and you can bust it in there, and it will create an image that has a person sitting with their head in their hands in a healthcare setting, symbolizing the way to burnout. Like, so cool, right? And then you can just use that picture. So you can then put that in your ebook. The hook is burnout isn't just being exhausted, it's being soul tired, feeling like you're running on flames and desperately needing a way out. And you're like, damn, yes, that does speak to me, right? And then it has a little paragraph here that you can put call to action. You're not going to put the call to act. You're not going to put call to action. You're going to put ready to learn how you can regain balance and reconnect with yourself in just 6 weeks. Keep reading, right? So it allows the readers now visual to go down to the next page. Now we have understanding burnout beyond physical exhaustion. We have another image suggestion. We have heading. Burnout isn't just in your mind, it's in your body. Then we have the 3 faces of burnout. Hook. You're not too sensitive. Burnout is a physiological response to chronic stress. We just keep moving through that ebook. How cool is this, right? Now I'm gonna start this because this actually sounds like a really cool program. Welcome to your 6-week reset. Get out of your head and into your body. The program integrates somatic awareness, mindful techniques, and practical tools to help you gently reconnect with yourself and heal from burnout. This, I didn't even create. This is something that AI has created. I didn't come up with this. The 3 pillars of the program: somatic awareness, mindfulness and insight, and then actionable tools, right? And then it goes down into reconnecting with your body, embracing movement to release tension. So it's kind of spelling out the different parts of the program, right? Integrating mind and body for resilience, your next step, committing to lasting change, right? So that's the last page. Final hook: a burnout may have taken your energy, but not your power to heal, right? And then they're like, ooh, there's a bunch of applause in the background when they get done reading. And they're like, yes, I want this 6-week program. And the 3 pillars are so amazing, right? So that's what we hope for your person to convert into a buyer, okay? And so this is a really good way, what I just showed you, of creating an ebook, which can be a lead magnet. So now you're like, well, what the heck is a lead magnet? Those are some things that we put on our fridge. No, not straight up magnets. A lead magnet is magnetizing, going out into the world, putting a lead magnet out there, an ebook, a free PDF, a list or something. I have 400 list for nurses of nursing jobs, over 400 that I got from here, right? So it's a magnet that people are like, yes, I want that information, and it's free. Now, what happens next? After you go to that site, I know you've all done it. You put in your email, and then that email takes you to a page that like is saying, "Thank you so much for getting this ebook. I hope you enjoy it. Come check out all my other crap that I have." Right? Or it might send you to their website. It might just turn off, and then you get the PDF in your email. There's different ways to have the lead map kind of end. But it doesn't end there. That starts your journey into usually a thing called an email campaign, right? So we have our lead magnet that brings in our potential buyers and clients. We then, in exchange for that free product, get their information, whether it be their name, their phone number, their email. Some people do addresses. It gets their information and it puts it in your platform or your database that you have an email like situation that you can email a bunch of people. So you're building your email list. That is very important in your nursing business, is to build an email list, because then you have people in front of you. And if social media goes down, you still have all those people in front of you, right? I've already had it happen. So I lost all of my followers and I had to start all the way over, but I had still 800 emails in that platform. And I easily just sent out an email saying, hey, I have a new platform, come and join me, right? So it's really important to understand this kind of journey or this trail that we're taking somebody down to bring them to a point of conversion. Usually it takes about 8 to 13 times of being in front of somebody. It's a lot to convert them. 8 to 13 times, right? So I usually suggest writing an email campaign about 45 times in front of that person. So you might have a 45-day every day or an every other day, or maybe when you're really speaking passionately about something, you can cluster emails into like a 3-day kind of trail and then do every other day. There's a lot of different ways we can reach our clientele and our customers. Okay. So we have that email campaign. So let's go ahead and we're going to write an email campaign. So write in uh, 5 emails for an email campaign that has to do with the above program for burned out nurses. Use inspirational wording and words that will convert leaders into buyers. Please use some websites as references in the emails. Right. So I would use my own website. I would use my own products to embed into this. But since this is a fictitious thing right now, we're just going to get some random websites that it pulls. Okay. All right. So it is already created one email and I didn't have to do anything. Ready to break free from burnout. So that's my first email. Okay. I use System.io. I've used other platforms like MailChimp, Kajabi, Graphy, which I currently use to host my digital products and courses. But there's tons of platforms out there. It's just finding the one that works for you. Now, I will state that having an email is very important, to have a business email. Otherwise, your things will go to spam, like it did this weekend for Modern Nurse Fest. I do have a Gmail for School of Nursing. I also have a professional email, which I should have used instead. But usually the professional emails will sit on top of the inbox, whereas the Gmail, if you have never replied or wrote to that person before, will sometimes likely get put into your spam. So it's important to have a business email as well. All right, so we can see that I've created now a bunch of different emails, and what I can do, as you can see here, it says, are you ready to start this journey? Click here to get started. So this is telling me that I should highlight this, and then the link that I need to put, I would embed it into this, and you can do that on various email platforms. All right. All right, any questions so far about all the things we've talked about? We've talked a lot about how to create content, how to use ChatGTP for research or research papers or care plans. It's just beyond the wildest dreams of really what you can do. I use it a lot and it's very helpful for hooks. I'm not very good at writing hooks, and call to action. I use those both a lot. And so it can be really helpful in many different things. All right. If you do have a question, and you're watching this as a recording, just email me. I'm happy to discuss this with you, or hit me up on LinkedIn or social media. As you can see right here, we have the last email. The door is closing soon. Don't miss out. So we have an actionable call to action that is hopefully going to convert your customer. This is their 5th email now that they've received. And they're like, damn, yes, I'm going to buy it. Just stop bugging me. Right. But we don't want them to get to that point where they're like, this is an annoying email, right? Have you ever had those email campaigns that just keep hitting you up and you're like, unsubscribe, I can't do it anymore, right? Or maybe you've already bought the product, like Nerve Recover, who I'm an affiliate for. They have a sauna and a cold plunge, and I have both of those, and I love them so much. But I've already purchased the product, but they hit me up. They're very good at marketing. But it's really kind of the same message over and over because they only sell 2 products. So it's just presented differently. So once you get that down, a messaging that really works for you and is getting you a lot of views, sales, then you just keep repeating that, right? There's no need to keep recreating the wheel when something is working for you. So that's kind of my 2 cents on the conversion of sales and the messaging. And Bridget actually talked about messaging. It's so important. It's so important. So please go watch her workshop as well. I think it's a really good combo. If you watch her workshop before and then watch mine, you can start creating your website, or you can hit her up and she can actually do all that for you, right? So it's whatever you feel that you're most comfortable with. I wanted to learn how to make a website. I use GoDaddy. That's really easy. Wix is really easy. Squarespace. I mean, there's a ton of different platforms. It's just really dependent on what you want to do, but it is actually easy to set up a digital business. Don't, it's not really rocket science. It's finding one problem, one solution, and then putting it out there, right? And consistency, my friends, is the key. Okay. So now I'm just going to ask it a general question. Okay. So what are nurses searching for the most on Google? You can use Google Trends for this as well, but I'm just going to type in this question just to see what happens, right? We're just playing around at this point now. All right, so it's going to go out there and it's going to look at some of these different things. It says search for sites. So let's see the 4 sites it searched. So it searched Bing, nah, nurse.org. Well, that's pretty reputable. IntelliCare, they do trends, and then that's a huge one. John Hopkins School of Nursing. I use them a lot in the somatic nursing certification. They have great information. So they pulled it from those 4 sites. So I can see the sources that they've pulled it from. And if I'm like, actually, I want to dive more into that, I can go ahead and, open it in a new link. And now I have it accessible and I can go ahead and look down through this, right? So it just goes to show you the power of creation and how we can use this to our benefit here. All right, so the top 5 areas that nurses are searching for information for are career and job flexibility. No shit, that's been an ongoing thing, right? Burnout and mental health. Oh my gosh, I feel like these are just redundantly, we know these already. Salary and compensation trends, education and certification opportunities, and nurse shortage and staffing issues. Those are like the top 5 things that nurses are currently looking for as they scour the interwebs on information. So then this can give me an idea. I'm a nurse and I'm like, oh, I want to start an online business and I want to sell digital products, but I don't know what to focus on. Here we go. There's 5 ideas right there. Maybe you're really passionate about helping nurses get reimbursed for their services, or maybe you're really passionate about helping nurses reduce burnout and get more mental health support by creating a community and a membership, right? Maybe you're really good at providing information and education on educational and certification opportunities, right? Maybe you have alphabet soup after your name already and you're like really jazzed about getting more certifications. You can monetize on that. If you're like super stoked and passionate about that, get on TikTok, get on Instagram, and just start talking about that. How you have 50 certifications and you think every nurse should have certifications, and how these certifications are great, and how it got you a pay raise or whatever, right? You see kind of where I'm going down the rabbit hole with that. Nursing shortage and staffing issues. Obviously, nurses love to hear about that. So these are, we've kind of heard the term pain points over the weekend, but these are kind of the pain points that we focus on in order to touch on the story, like Bridget was saying, to tell the story. Then a person gets engaged and they're like, yeah, that's me. That is me. She totally understands me, or he totally understands me. I'm definitely going to try to see what kind of services they have because I feel very connected to this person. Okay. All right. All right. Last but not least, we're going to do just something fun here. So I'm going to ask it to give me a joke. Doctors. Okay, how about we're gonna get 5 jokes out of this. Give me 5 jokes. Okay. All right, here we go for comedy hour with Emily Knife. Okay, so doctor, nurse, how is that little boy doing who swallowed those quarters? Nurse, no change yet. That's a good one. That's a good one, AI. All right, here we go. Doctor, I have bad news and worse news. Which would you like first? Patient, give me the bad news. Doctor, you only have 24 hours to live. Patient, what? How could it get worse? Doctor, I've been trying to reach you since yesterday. That one's actually a really good one. Number 3, or it's the nurse. Doctor, there's a patient online who says he's invisible. Doctor, tell him I can't see him right now. Number 4, why did the doctor carry a red pen? In case they needed to draw blood. Oh my gosh, although doctors never draw any blood whatsoever. Doctor, nurse, did you take the patient's temperature? Nurse, no, it's missing. All right, so as you can see, you can do absolutely anything with Chat GTP. And to close out here, here we go. All right, let's see what it says here, and then I'll go ahead and read it to you guys. I know you can see it on my screen. Okay, from the bottom of my heart, I want to express my deepest gratitude for each of you. None of this would have been possible without your unwavering support, belief, and encouragement. Your dedication and enthusiasm inspires me every single day, which it does. Whether you are taking steps towards new opportunities, finding balance in your lives, or supporting those in need, you are truly transforming the landscape of modern nursing. I'm so grateful to have such an incredible community by my side. Together, we are creating something extraordinary, and it fills me with pride to watch all of you grow, inspire, and lead with courage. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And remember, you are not alone, and your light shines brighter than you know. With all my appreciation and encouragement, thank you so much. So, as you can see, it can literally do just about anything from writing sympathy notes to helping out with funeral arrangements. Literally can do anything for you and can even give you a recipe to try out. So go ahead, sign into it, log into it, and just play around. Have fun with it. It's not necessary here to be, all just serious all the time. This can be fun as well. So please take it to new lengths and surprise yourself. And so I look forward to seeing you again as we head into the next workshop and recording. Until then, take care, and I hope you are your best self. Have a good evening, a good day, or wherever you are. We will see you on the other side.